Now, you know what? I'm really, really, really glad that I don't have to watch that game. I don't have to cover it because you know what? It's not my job to watch the NBA. Wait a minute. It is. So I had to sit through no defense played in the first quarter, no defense played in the second quarter, no defense played in the third quarter, and then some dude coming up off the San Antonio Spurs bench and absolutely giving them buckets, like 11 points in the fourth quarter. Woo! Boy, oh boy. Y'all, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Swipa Hand, man. Hey, we're growing the channel. Hit that subscribe button. We are on the way to 10,000 subscribers. The Denver Nuggets, y'all. The Denver Nuggets are now sitting at 46-21 with two horrible losses back-to-back to the Chicago Bulls at home by 21 and today to the San Antonio Spurs by 8. And who do you have to blame? I'll tell you, yourself. The Denver Nuggets, they are back to playing December defense. I don't know if y'all remember December defense. What is December defense, Swipa? I'll go ahead and tell you. When the Denver Nuggets were the 28th ranked defense in the NBA, they couldn't stay in front of nobody. They couldn't protect the rim. They couldn't keep you from getting from the rim. Their three-point defense was trash. Rotations were trash. Everything was trash. Y'all, after the Cleveland game, after the Memphis game, the Nuggets were kind of rolling. They were taking care of business. They were getting wins. The Nuggets had won. They were 8-1 in their last 9 games. And then they beat the Grizzlies right before that. They beat the Rockets right before that. They beat the Clippers. They had beat the Cavs. They had beat the Mavericks. They were starting to get on a little bit of a run. And then the big game of the big game, the Memphis Grizzlies, to really, really solidify yourself as the number 1 seed, give you a 6-game difference in the conference. The Nuggets, basically since that point, have kind of packed it up and packed it in. Now, some of this is to be expected. And the reason I say that some of this is to be expected is because when you get that kind of a lead, it's human nature. It's human nature that you're going to try to fall on things, bad habits, coast your way through, all those other things. I get it. I understand that. But the facts are the facts is that you still haven't won anything. You still haven't proven anything. And tonight, now the starters were in a minus, but honestly, it's the bench was one of the biggest issues again. The bench was horrific. Reggie Jackson, Bruce Brown, Thomas Bryant, they couldn't hit shots. They got outscored by over 20 points, I want to say, as well. They just didn't play well enough. They didn't get the job done, and that's just really the simple fact of the matter. Tonight, the Denver Nuggets lose 128-120. 128-120. The Spurs bench outscored the Nuggets bench per Harrison Wind of DNVR 58-25. They were outscored 58-25. On the bench for the Denver Nuggets, Bruce Brown, 8 points, 3 of 8. Reggie Jackson, 4 points, 1 of 6. Jeff Green, 6 points, 2 of 4. Thomas Bryant, 4 points, 2 of 4. Christian Brown, 3 points, 1 of 2. Spurs bench, 20 for Doug McDermott on 7 of 8 and 4 of 4 from 3. Jones, Trey, 14 points, 8 assists, 5 of 7. Keita Diop had 9 points and 4 of 6. And then you had, I'm going to try to get the brother's name correctly, Sandro Mamu Kelishvili, I think. Mamu Kelishvili, I believe is how you say it. If I mispronounce your name, brother, I apologize. He had 11 points in the fourth quarter. 11, 4, and 2 on 4 of 5, 2 of 3. The bench was a plus 17, plus 21, plus 8, plus 8, plus 3. The starters were Keldon Johnson a plus 9, Solon minus 4, Vassell minus 7, and then they had Malachi was a minus 12, and Zach Collins was a minus 3. Oh, by the way, Michael Porter Jr. got thrown out of the game after a dunk on Zach Collins. Zach Collins did not take kind to Michael Porter Jr. saying something about it. He then bumped MPJ. MPJ then pushed him into his throat. Both of them got ejected. It should have just been technicals, whatever else, but apparently they got to protect the integrity of the game, which I understand that, but that's insane. Yeah, it was no defense play tonight, y'all. The Nuggets also, I think they only lost like 2 games this season, 2 or 3 when they scored over 120 points. Jokic had his first triple-double loss of the season, 39 minutes, 37 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists on 14-24, 4 of 6 from 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line with 3 steals. He was a -2. Now, sorry, that was loud, y'all. Jokic did not play any defense today. They tried to do the thing again where they get you close, hunt you down. They had a couple of good defensive possessions this game, but that's it. They didn't have any other outside of that. Jokic tonight, good enough protecting the rim, letting people get to the rim, slashing, all kind of stuff. Now, a lot of this is on the perimeter defenders. Jokic is not a vertical defender, so you know what you have to do. You know what your job is, and they just didn't make it difficult for them tonight. And then on top of that, Jokic played really well offensively, 37, 11, and 11, but it's just one of those things too, man. If you don't lock in defensively, you're going to let them get 128 points. You're going to let them get a lot of good shots off. Then it's going to have a really hard time stopping them. Tonight, the Spurs shot 54% from the field on 51 of 94. Nuggets only 49% on 44 of 90. The Spurs shot 13 of 33 from 3 for 39%. The Nuggets shot 13 of 35. The Spurs were only 13 of 17 at the line for 76%. The Nuggets were 19, 20, 95%. The Spurs have 18 turnovers tonight, and they still lost. They still won the game. Nuggets had 32 assists. The Spurs 31 assists. The Spurs out-rebounded the Nuggets 50-33 and 13 offensive rebounds, 8 offensive rebounds. It's inexcusable. The Spurs had more fouls, more turnovers, less assists, and they won the game. So, yeah, it's just stuff that cannot happen. You have to be able to be in a situation where you have to be able to respond sometimes immediately, and you don't. So there's just a lot of things. Like I said, main takeaway is this is a team that since they beat the Memphis Grizzlies, have just decided that if you're not, and again, I'm not saying correct thinking. The Raptors didn't take them seriously. Bulls didn't take them seriously. They took the Spurs seriously about one quarter, and then they started rolling. They just started rolling. And then this is what you get. You get a loss, and you get a loss versus a team that's tanking. So the question is, how will you respond Sunday? Could you play the Brooklyn Nets? The Brooklyn Nets are another one of the teams that fit this category. Dorian Finney-Smith, Mikal Bridges. They're going to have players that are not marquee level players. They're playing for the playoffs, but no real chance of being a contender. You could have gone 4-0 this week, but now you're 1-2 on the week. So will you get back up to 500? You were sitting at 46-19, had a chance to go 48-19. So what's going to happen now? How will you choose to respond now that you lost 2 straight games? So I know it's frustrating. I know it doesn't feel good. I know there's a lot of things that are bothersome about this game. But the good news is that there is another game coming up on Sunday. And they will have an opportunity to make up for what they did today, have an opportunity to make up for today's mistakes. But, it is what it is. And I think a lot of people they're feeling a different kind of way because, the MVP race is coming up close. Giannis, had some good games. He's out the last 2 games. They still won those games. Embiid played a good game tonight. They won the game tonight. So a lot of people, I think, are feeling a different kind of way just because they're just like, well, Jokic's going to hold on to the lead, all the other stuff. So here we are right now. Jokic had 37, 11, and 11 tonight. Like I said, 58% from the field, 67% from 3, 83% from the free throw line. He was still a -2. So rare minus game for Jokic. And now he's averaging 24.5, 11.8, and 10 on the season. And I would say that Jokic needs to have a little bit more of these. This 16 shots right here is all fake because he took 9 threes because they're just all in. But 11, 10, and 8. This works maybe right here. Maybe right here. When you're playing really, really high-level defense. You can only take 10 shots. You can have 18-point high-level defense, high-level playmaking. You can also do that versus the Rockets. But these games right here, after this one happened, where you almost lost the game at 17 points, then, again, you have to come out a little different. And Jokic did today. He came out, put on a high volume shot clinic, and they lost the game still. They lost the game still. So, again, a lot of this comes down to is how will the Denver Nuggets take on this Sunday? And they're in a rut. So the reason that I'm not overtly tripping is just because they're in a rut. And when you're in a rut, sometimes you just forget how to play basketball sometimes at a high level. You forget to execute at a high level. You forget to play make at a high level. You forget to play connected. Tonight, Jamal didn't have a good game. Jamal had 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, 9 of 21 from the field. And then he was 2 of 8 from 3. He was 2 of 8 from 3. And a lot of these were in the fourth quarter, and they're trying to catch up, and you just couldn't hit them today. But again, good. Keep shooting threes, Jamal. Keep shooting threes, absolutely. Jamal's been playing really well lately, but it just happened to be one of those games where you couldn't hit some of these shots. But defensively, if you do your job, then you don't need to hit all of these shots. And you didn't get that done tonight. So that's the frustrating part about it. I know everybody is not – we do not like it to when you have to watch the Nuggets lose these kind of games. But the process was just bad. Their pick-and-roll defense was really bad. Jokic was getting put on an island. He was getting scored on repeatedly. It was just anything that you could have asked for that was bad tonight. The Denver Nuggets did it. And the bench is horrific. A lot of this is the bench is just figuring its identity out. They're figuring out how to play together, Reggie Jackson and Bruce and Thomas. And they're just really sloppy right now, like really sloppy. The Denver Nuggets gave up a 120.8 offensive rating today. Can't have that. Not to the Spurs. No, sir. Let me show y'all this. No, sir. Not to the Spurs, but you did it. You can't play that bad. A 120.8 offensive rating. Actually went up. A 121.9 offensive rating for the Spurs tonight. Can't do that. 113.5. Bad offense for the Nuggets tonight. The Spurs shot 43% of their shots at the rim. Okay, the Spurs shot 70% at the rim. Relative. The Nuggets shot 76% at the rim. So, again, it's not terrible when you actually look at it, but this is what is bad. Denver was 22 of 29. The Spurs were 28 of 40. Can't do that, y'all. But they also shot really good from the mid-range, 10 of 17. The Nuggets did not. They shot really bad from mid-range, period. The Spurs shot 50% from the mid-range today. And Jeremy Soule had hit something over Bruce Brown that was like a turnaround, and it just was like, man, they were getting it done and you weren't. The Nuggets, this is how you know they were playing bad defense. How you know they were playing bad defense? Look at this. Look at their half court. The Denver Nuggets had held the Spurs to a 100 offensive rating in a half court today. The Nuggets had a 111.5 offensive rating in the half court. That means the Nuggets were outperforming them significantly in the half court. But where did they lose? The Nuggets had a minus 0.13 in transition, and the Spurs were a plus 4.1 in transition. Off of live rebounds, you can see it all right here. Off of steals, when the Nuggets were turning the ball over. Look at this. When the Nuggets were turning the ball over, a 140 offensive rating. 140 offensive rating when they turned the ball over on steals today. And then they gave up a 133 offensive rating on live rebounds. So you do both of these things, you're getting cooked. Now, the Nuggets off live rebounds were pushing. They're doing really well. Off of steals, they weren't converting it near the same rate. So, again, this is all from cleaning the glass just to help you get an understanding of the game. Just to help you get an understanding of the game and how some of this stuff happens. And, again, half court, great. Transition, awful. Just absolutely awful. Rim defense, not good. But, again, you took advantage. But, again, this many shots at the rim, 40 shots at the rim, 28 converted, can't do it. This is entirely too high. You cannot do that. But, again, it is what it is. It's a game in March. The Nuggets are 46-21. So, ultimately, not concerned in like a long-term view. But if you don't want to get beat for a third straight game, what should be maybe a fourth straight loss, then you better decide that you want to come home and you want to get the job done. Because right now you're playing like a team that's coasting, and you're playing like it's December again. So, it is what it is. I know y'all are frustrated with it for sure. Really bad defense, 46-21. 6-game lead over the second seed, which is nuts. So they're gonna have to figure that bench out, man. That's probably one of my biggest issues that I'm having right now with them is that their bench is just not doing it. They're not playing connected. They're not playing together, and they don't have anything, have no identity. And Bones, for all his things that he didn't do well, at least extend the floor. That's a shooter and that's a threat. But they're just not getting it done, bro. I don't know what to tell y'all. Like, well, that's not true, dude. But I think it's just going to require some patience right now in this season, as they're trying to figure out like what does winning basketball look like for them. Yet again, you lose to the Bulls and the Spurs and back to back. That's an identity thing. Like you're not just being lackadaisical, but you're like your decision making, everything is off. So we'll have to see y'all. So I can keep your head up. If you're on Twitter and stuff, I would definitely say I'm telling this myself too. Try to exist in positive spaces because there's so much like trash floating around right now. And then obviously when the Nuggets lose, there's people that want to clown and all kinds of stuff. So I wouldn't deal with it, man. Just let it be what it is. The Nuggets are 46-21. They still have a crazy record when Jokic is playing. They're 500 on the road now, which again, it's frustrating. Spurs and Bulls, but it is what it is, y'all. That's Swipa again. Y'all know y'all my people, man. Y'all know I love y'all. I respect y'all. Hope y'all have a great, great weekend. And I will see y'all again soon. This weekend with Swipa with Mile High Sports and on Sunday versus the Brooklyn Nets. Y'all, you know what time it is.